So finally, this deal that I've been working on for quite a while now is finally closing, which is a huge relief for me because it's something that we've been working on for a long time. And even though I would love for every deal to close super quickly, super fast, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. Now, before we jump into how I did this deal and how complicated it got, I'm gonna share with you guys some numbers of what we have going on right now for the month of November and December. And so far we have done pretty good. So I'm gonna pop up a graph real quick of exactly how our marketing has progressed. And for that little tiny hump over here on October the 27th, we started out 223 outgoing text messages with 78 incoming text messages. And as time has progressed, we've gone from 223 to about 400, 430, 780, 790, and you can see the graph getting bigger and bigger, going over the 1,000 mark. Now, the goal, of course, is to go over 1,000 text messages per day. We want to do at least minimum 1,500 outgoing text messages, but I know that if we can get at least a minimum 1,500 text messages daily outgoing, that we could stir up some interest in people and have a lot of people contact us back. The main point of all this text messaging is, of course, to find deals, but at the same time, weeding out all the people who either are not interested from the beginning or the people who are not the owners. It's hard to do it when you're cold calling, not because it takes more effort, but it takes more time. So I can send out 1,000 text messages and get replies all in one day, but for my cold caller, by texting, I shorten his call time, which I would like to as much as possible because he is fast at what he does. But if I have more stuff for him to call, then of course it's going to slow him down. If I can get him to call more people in a shorter amount of time, he's going to be more efficient, we're going to be more efficient, and we'll make more deals happen. And so far the marketing is paying off. So today alone we've gotten like 3 deals. One is a package deal of 3 houses. They are, I think one of them is rented, 2 of them are not. They're all in pretty, all right shape. Pretty beat up, but love beat up. That's where all of our money is made as wholesalers, beat up houses. So we got the package deal, then a land deal in Charlotte. Guy wants to sell a vacant lot. And then we possibly have another vacant lot that's probably gonna pop up in here. So what was it about this deal that was so complicated to do that it took us almost 2 months to close? Let's dive into that. So I'm gonna tell you why this deal was so hard to do. Number one was trying to convince the guy, hey, you still own this property. He thought it went up for tax foreclosure and was foreclosed on already, which if you don't know already, some states that if you don't pay your property taxes, they will auction off your property. So he thought the city took over the property, and we reassured him, no, you still own the property. So that was one. We've been calling this guy since July 29th, okay? So it's been now almost 4 months to close this deal. Some things going against this are the fact that he and his wife lived in the property. He went to prison. She stayed in the house. She ended up dying. While he was in prison, they tore down the house and he just kind of forgot about everything. So there was an old demolition lien against the property. There were back taxes on the property and an heir that we had to find. Because the lady had a daughter, the daughter had a partial interest in the property. So the guy, we asked him, hey man, so how much would you want? And of course he had no clue what he wanted. So because of the amount of work that we were gonna have to do, also we were gonna have to spend some money on this deal, we told him, hey, would you take $2,000? We'll cover all the back taxes and any of the lawyer fees or anything that has to be done. And he said, yeah, he agreed. So here we have a purchase price, $2,000 to seller. Then after that, we discovered that it was about $2,000 in back taxes. So we have $2,000 going to the seller as we agreed, and $2,000 in back taxes that have to be paid back to the city. So now we have a total price in purchasing the property of about $4,000. Now we did have to locate the other heir, which costed us a grand total of $10. I don't know if I spelled heir right, but you guys get the point. $10 to find the heir, and then another $500 in lawyer fees. The lawyer fees were for the title search and for a few other things that had to be done that we did before we marketed this property. So as you can see here, we were all in on the property, about $4,510. So what I failed to mention about the title search is that we found out that the demo lien had fallen off because it was so old. Now, what was the property worth? So in this area, we have a lot of development going on, a lot of people building houses. Naturally, this piece of land is in hot demand. So because it's in hot demand, we decided, hey, you know what? Let's take a chance. Let's go ahead and market this property out for $30,000 and see if anybody hits on it. So we sent it out for $30,000, and of course we did get a couple hits. You know, some guys offering 15, 20, 25. I even had a guy offer me 10. I was like, hey, cool, you know, this just isn't the property for you. I'd rather hold on to it because at this purchase price, I could literally hold on to that and build a house on it, and I could make way more money than that. So I was like, you know what? If we don't get it off for 30, I'm not selling it. So I had a guy come in and he offered me 30, and they were like, hey, 30,000 works for us. You know, when do you want the EMD check? I was like, hey, write it up. So we ended up selling it. So we sold the contract for a total of $30,000. So in the $30,000 was included all these fees, the money to the seller, the money in back taxes, the money in finding there, the money in lawyer fees. We added all that in there because, you know, we wanted to make sure that we covered all our costs, which these are our costs. So we made a total profit of $25,490 on this deal. Now to get this deal, of course, it took some time, took a little bit of money. We had to skip trace him. We had to call him a few times. We called him about 2 to 3 times until he finally picked up. And I think I've been chasing this guy for over a year because he was in another list that I had in the system, but it had no phone numbers to it. So finding the seller, convincing him to sell was easy because he didn't even know he owned the property. The fact that we were going to give him $2,000 out of thin air when he probably didn't have $2,000 was like, hey, you know what? I will take that. Now, if he would have put it on the MLS, he would have gotten a lot more money for it. But at the same time, nobody would have been able to do all the work that we were able to do. Some realtors have no clue what to do when title issues come up. And this was a major title issue with finding an heir. She did take some time to find, and it did, you know, cost us money and resources to find her. As far as finding her, I think it took about 2 weeks. I had to hunt around because she is not somebody that keeps a phone number for a very long time. So it was a little tough to find her. We were able to find her, and we were able to put this deal together. Now, I know that this deal is a little bit more complicated than what most wholesale deals are, but even if you have issues like this, know that you can still close on them. Don't just throw away the lead and be like, you know what, I can't do anything with this because now we got to find other people, or maybe there's title issues behind it. It did have a demo lien. Luckily, the demo lien had expired, so it was no longer valid since it was over 14 years ago. But other than that, he had some judgments and liens against him, which were not present in his credit report, which was a good thing for us as well. If he did have any judgments and liens, we would have been added in to this price tag over here. Now, this lot was wooded. It did not have the taps. The taps had been removed from the property. So it was wooded, it was level, so that was one thing that was working with us. And the best part of it all was there was a new build directly next to it. So that helped us out dramatically. The new build sold for $260,000, which upped our comps on the land pretty high. To be honest, in this area, I would never think that anybody would buy a piece of land for $30K when 2 years ago when I started wholesaling in this area, I couldn't even sell a lot for $10,000. In reality, the fact that they're so expensive now is good for us because now we can give these sellers either what they want or give these sellers an option when before we could only offer them maybe $1,000 or $2,000 for the lot. Then they basically make no profit whatsoever. This guy was able to take the $2,000 because he didn't even know that the lot was there. The title issues against it were quite a bit. So he still made some money, we made some money, and we all won. So I'm rocking an old Deal Machine shirt that I've had for quite a while. Deal Machine sent it out to me quite a while back. I think it's been like 2 years now. It's crazy how long that's been. So I know where you guys are thinking like, man, Dan, how come you didn't give him more money for the property if you knew that you could get more money out of it? And here's the thing. I didn't know I could get more money out of it. I basically shot that out there at that price, kind of guessing what I could get for it. I like to guess high when I'm sending stuff out, but when I'm putting stuff under contract, I gotta think worst case scenario. Now, I didn't know how much it was going to cost me in order to get the title work done on the property, because that title work does vary, man. It is not like, oh yeah, you know, let's put it on the contract for $10,000. Next thing you know, you got a bill from the lawyer for like $5,000, and it cut into all of your profit. And then you go to wholesale it and you're like, oh wow, I could only get like 15K for it. Those are things that we have to kind of like anticipate in advance, where, okay, is this deal gonna work? Worst case scenario. And yeah, it's unfortunate that I couldn't give him more money. But at the same time, some deals I get are really small margins, $2,000 to $5,000. And then some deals I get make really good margins, like this one, $25,000 margin. When you think about, you know, the balance between them, so that $25,000 deal is going to balance out that $5,000 deal. I still have overhead, I have advertising, I have employees. We have quite a few pieces to this puzzle. It's not just me. Even if it was just me, we don't know when the next deal is going to come. You know, my next deal could be next week, it could be tomorrow, it could be today, it could be 2 months from now. And those are things that we have to anticipate. So we have to make as much money as we can on these deals while helping these sellers out. Because I mean, in reality, this guy was facing tax foreclosure any day now. He didn't even know that he still owned it. And the fact that we were still able to put some money in his pocket, put some money in our pocket, we all won. Because in reality, nobody would have made money. And if he would have wanted more money, I would have offered it to him, but not much more. Maybe, you know, $1,000, $2,000 more, just because we don't have a clear picture on what's happening. So usually when a house is torn down, the city will put a lien against it because they tore it down and they want their money out of it. Usually those liens are about $15,000. So you got a $15,000 demo lien that could possibly be on the property. Then you got title issues that might come up that are sometimes between $2,000 to $5,000. So look, here's our picture that we painted for ourselves on what we thought was happening. $15,000 demo lien, $5,000 in possible title work, and another $2,000 in back taxes. So we're at $22,000 in possible cost to us, not including what we got to give the seller, which is another maybe $2,000. So we were going into this maybe trying to sell it for 30 or 25, and then trying to negotiate around what we needed to do with the lot. You know, what type of title work needed to be done. And all that stuff took literally, it took months for us to do it. It took us a total of 3 months total to get all the title work done, to get all the air issues settled. So we're in this deal already like 30 hours. So 30 hours worth of work. Then when we finally got all the title issues settled, then we put it up and sold it. And we did it within what, couple of days? I think 24 hours after sending it out, we got our offer at 30K and we rolled with it. So $30,000, and it was 30 hours worth of work, so $1,000 an hour. While that might seem like, yeah, you know, it took quite a bit of time, but the fact that we made $1,000 an hour with all that time being spent on it definitely was a good win. So can't complain about that. So far, this whole 60-day challenge thing, though, it is, you know, it is what it is. The more people, the more problems. Some of you guys probably seen on my Instagram. Had people yelling at me, telling me to stop calling. Even had a guy threaten to beat me up. This is the life of a wholesaler. Uncut. No sugarcoating. Play it for you right now so you guys can hear it.
Listen here, you dumb wad. I own 5 houses. You got any for sale? You want to sell some of your properties? You fucking dirtbag son of a bitch. You call my number again, and I'll have my boys put a beat down on you, okay? Do not call again about trying to buy my house. If I sell it, I will sell it on my own terms. That way, I'm the one making the profit. I've done made my millions, motherfucker. Let's see you try to make yours with your goddamn dumb, stupid fucking con games. You do not call this number again. Do not call about any properties in Belmont. Bye-bye.
Now that guy cracked me up, how he said he was going to call his boys to give me a beat down. I was like, okay. You can send your best man, you gonna lose your best hitter. Clearly you are not a millionaire, because millionaires don't say that to people. If you know anybody who has money, they don't waste their time doing stuff like that. I mean, time is precious. I'm not going to call anybody to threaten them or threaten their life. I just tell them straight up, hey, stop calling me. Not interested. Have a nice day. Cool. That's it. Nothing else is needed. Instead, he told me don't call any more houses in the neighborhood. He was gonna put a beat down on me, calling me a scammer. Just a bunch of other names. I laughed. And then the second lady that ended up calling back into the system, this one was pretty funny. So I'm gonna let this roll real quick.
Hello, this is Alex.
Who's this? I'm sorry. Hello?
I said my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex. You keep emailing all my family members about a house you're trying to buy?
Do you know what contact number we might have reached out to them at?
The same one I'm calling right now. Stop it, goddammit.
I don't see your number in my system.
I'm gonna report your... Stop emailing my family about a house you drove by you trying to buy.
Hey, ma'am, what's the name of the person? That way I can take it out of our system.
I'm not giving you no name. Stop calling my family members, emailing all around the world.
For me to do that, I've got to take it out of the system. I just need to know the
I'm going to report your I already contacted ATC. I'm going to report it, goddammit.
I don't have the number that you're talking about, so no worries.
And I'm not going to give it to you either. Cut the crap.
We'll still reach out to them. You have a good one.
So she was hilarious. She kept saying how she was going to call the ATC. So if you don't know who the ATC is, it is an air traffic controller. Now, I don't know about you, but I wasn't flying any planes, so I'm not sure why she would call the ATC. But what I think she was trying to say was she was going to call the FCC, which she was so angry and disgruntled. Stop emailing my family. Again, we were text messaging, not emailing. She just seemed upset for whatever reason in her life. If anything, I feel sorry for her. And if you're watching this, I hope you have a really good day. I really do. I wish nothing but the best for you. And whatever was going on in your life in that moment in time, I hope things are better for you. But she clearly yelled at us for contacting her whole family about whatever property it is. We still don't even know what property it is. That's the funny part. It is what it is. But this is a part of wholesaling, guys. Don't get frightened. Don't be like, oh my God, this is so scary. These people are going to yell at me. These people yell at us all day long. If anything, I'm a professional at accepting insults. I don't think there is an insult that you could send my way that would even piss me off, because I've heard it all. I've been called scammer, bottom feeder, piece of crap, MFer, just everything and anything. It's fun. It's funny. To be honest, the fact that these people get so angry over a random stranger sending them a text message or a call, I get it. Some guys might get it a lot, but if anything, just shake it off, because there's no point in being angry about it. So as of right now, I think this is all I have for today. We're still receiving text messages, as you probably heard already. As a matter of fact, I will check it. Look at that. We got all kinds of stuff. Got another guy insulting us. But, this is part of the whole thing. So I have another deal coming up that I want to dissect with you guys, and this one is going to be a big one. So we are going to close in a few more days on 25 properties. Out of those 25 properties, I am going to get a bunch of lots for free. We're going to use those lots either to build or to sell them. We don't know yet. Maybe just hold them for a year. Sell them in a year and a day to avoid any capital gains. And we are making a nice assignment fee on this thing, almost $70,000. So we ended up selling off 18 of the properties. So all the houses that were involved in this deal, we wholesaled them all to one buyer. And that will be my next deal breakdown. This was another one. This one was 6 months in the making. And it was definitely a crazy deal. Lots of yelling from the seller, let's just put it that way. But enough with my yapping, guys. I'm gonna get back to work here and try to finish off my day. I hope you guys are winning in your businesses. And if you are, drop a comment down below. Tell me how well or how bad you're doing in your business. If you have any questions, drop them down below as well, or hit me up on Instagram and I will help you guys out as much as I can. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next vlog.